What's up, Lost Boys? Here we are for another fantasy football recap video. This one's going to be a recap looking at week 11, and then we're going to look into week 12, guys. The season is slowly coming to an end. Every victory means that much more, and our league is as tight as ever. So let's get into this week's games, which were unfortunately not really good games fantasy wise. There was one really good game. We're going to start with that one. It was actually our game of the week, Josh versus Denny. Two playoff teams battling each other. And wow, what an ending. Josh wins by 0.16. It all came down to the game last night, Raiders and Cowboys. At one point, Josh had an 89% chance to win during this game. He had a 4-point lead. He had CeeDee Lamb. He had Brock Bowers. He had Brandon Aubrey. Denny had Trey Tucker. Well, the fantasy gods had a different plan. Raiders go down. Who scores the only Raiders touchdown of the night? Trey Tucker, of course. Gives Denny a 3-point lead with about 5 minutes left in the game. Luckily for Josh, a couple passes to CeeDee Lamb. Josh goes into the very last drive of the game. He's down by point, I think 0.7, 0.6. And Brock Bowers gets the Raiders' last offensive play of the game. He gets a maybe 6-yard pass. So gives him the slight lead of over Denny. The Cowboys didn't want to kick a field goal to save their life at the end of the game. Anyway, Josh barely squeaks out a victory. Denny's team started behind the 8 ball with Travion Henderson, big game for Josh. But he got big games from Trey McBride. JSN Gibbs outscored Amon-Ra. But the big thing for Denny was Justin Herbert with 3 points. Let him down big time. Josh's team also did not perform. 132 points is not good. No one really did anything on his side of the team. But he does get the victory. That means the last 2 weeks, Josh has 2 wins. And they are by a combined 0.6. Combined 0.6. So close victories for Josh. Edges out Denny this week. Next, we're going to look at Tim versus Cass. This one was an ass whooping. Tim had, I think, his best game of the year. 177 points, 29 from Tet against Cass, which is ironic because Cass just traded Tet to Tim a couple weeks ago, which was a phenomenal trade for Tim. Gets rid of Sam Darnold, who's been sitting on his bench. He gets a wide receiver 1 to make his playoff push. He has 32 points from Christian McCaffrey, nearly 20 from Derrick Henry, nearly 20 from Christian Watson. So great week from Tim. Kamani Vidal may have been hurt this game, so we'll keep an eye on that. But overall, great week from Tim. Absolutely got a smashing victory over Cass when he needed it because he's still trying to stay in the playoff hunt. Remember, his point total is less than Denny, it's less than Jace, it's less than Josh, it's less than Ryan. So Tim has to beat those guys in record-wise, and he gets a huge win this week. Cass, on the other hand, 112 points. His quarterbacks have been terrible all year. I mean, J.J. McCarthy, Sam Darnold combining for 10 points. Justin Jefferson just hasn't been into play this year. The Vikings themselves have not been good. And Cass may have just lost Josh Jacobs as well. So Cass's team is in a rough spot right now. And sneakily, if Cal wasn't so bad, Cass would have a chance for that stand-up. But we'll see. We still got a few more games left. Next, we're going to look at Justin. Speaking of Cal, Justin and Cal, and Justin beats the shit out of Cal by 30 points. And Justin only scored 133 points, so he didn't even have that good a week. Didn't even matter because Cal's team's that bad. Justin had 24 points from Dak Prescott, 28 points for Bijan, and there you go. That's pretty much all you need to beat Cal. Justin's team, like I said all year, I really like his team. He really, in order for him to take the next step, he needs those 2 Eagles wide receivers, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, to do good. Fortunately, this week they didn't. It didn't matter. Bijan went back to scoring touchdowns. James Cook went back to scoring touchdowns. And Dak is one of the best fantasy quarterbacks in the league. Cal, just terrible. I mean, barely 100 points. Tua is terrible. Caleb Williams, 10 points. He finally had an okay game from Nico Collins with around 20. But, I mean, you're starting Nick Chubb, Cal. That's not good. That's not good. Ever since Rashee Rice came back, Xavier Worthy's been nearly unplayable, and Ashton Dinty's just been a bad pick all year because the Raiders are a dumpster fire. So Cal goes down. Justin moves to 6-5, stays in the playoff hunt. Cal is still sitting in the dumpster bin of comedy at the bottom. Next, we're going to look at Learning Computer versus Pat. Pat had to have this game. He had to. He had to stay in the rec. The wins had to be up there to make the playoffs because his points are so low. Didn't happen. It made it even worse. 99 points. Couldn't even break 100 points for Patty this week. It was a bad game. Matt beats him by 33 points. And Pat even got worse news than Ja'Marr Chase. Not only did Ja'Marr Chase take a dump this week and get him 4 points, but he is suspended next week for spitting. So Pat's looking like he's in a rough spot, as he made it clear. He's tired of this fantasy season. BTJ sits out another game. Matt gets a much-needed win. He goes to 4-7. Remember, Matt was at the bottom with Cal. He needed this win to stay out of last place, close to Cal. He gets a huge victory. He has more points than Cal. A-Chain continues to be the rock of his team. Matt's team looks pretty good at times, but Lamar Jackson with 4 points was very surprising. So Matt easily could have put up 150 points if his quarterback performed for him. Either way, he gets the much-needed win. And last game of the week, this week we had Llama versus Jace. This was a battle of our first place team and our fifth place team. And Jace takes down Llama. First place goes down this week, guys. Now Llama he needed the win, but he didn't need the win. He was a game ahead of everyone else. Jace needed this win and did his first. Josh Allen came through for him. 6 touchdowns, almost 43 fantasy points. Back-to-back weeks where Jace has had a 40-point fantasy player. Pickens dominated, basically made sure Jace got that win last night because it was Pickens versus Ferguson going into that game, and Pickens got him 25 points. But Jace, 156 points backed by Josh Allen. He needs a little bit more from Jalen Hurts during the playoffs. He needs a little bit more from his tight end, but Jace's team looked good this week. Ryan, his quarterbacks have been awesome all year, but Baker and Mahomes have not been very good the last few weeks. And if Baker's not good, then Mbuka's not good. And unfortunately for Ryan, it looks like Drake London might be out for a couple weeks as well. He's been a huge spark for him. So Ryan took a couple lumps this week. Ryan's team's still awesome. He's still currently in the playoffs, but rough week for Ryan. We're gonna look at the standings right now, guys. Josh takes over first place. He is tied, 3-way tie at 7-4. Sorry, guys. 7-4. He has the most points between Ryan and Tim. The other two 7-4 teams, like I said, Ryan's sitting in second place, and Tim, our defending champion, is sitting in third place. Now, he does have 1,500 points, which is not the best, but hey, wins are wins, and that's all you need in fantasy. Fourth place, the final playoff spot goes to Jace. He leads our league in points. He's 6-5. Next, you have Denny and Justin, also 6-5. They're about 100 and 200 points behind Jace, so they're going to have to pass Jace in the record books to be able to get into that fourth and final playoff spot. So we'll see these next, last, I think maybe 4 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks of the season are going to be insanely close. Next, we have Pat sitting alone at 5-6. He's in 7th place. He does have 1,427 points though, so unless Pat goes undefeated the rest of the season and a couple people above him lose, it's going to be really, really tough for him. And then our other two 4-7 teams, Learning Computer, Cass, they're both down there. And then unfortunately in the shithole, we have Cal, 3-8, least points, worst record and least points in the league. So it's rough for Cal. His only hope right now is honestly Cass. I mentioned it before. Cass is only 1 game ahead of Cal, and he's only about 60 points ahead of Cal. So that could flip towards the rest of the season. So we'll keep an eye on that one. All right, let's look at these next week's games. Our game of the week, once again, 2 playoff teams. Josh at 7-4, Tim at 7-4. Tim's been on a roll this week. He's been winning games, and like I mentioned, Josh has been winning games, but Josh has barely been winning games. So we'll see what happens this week. Unfortunately, it looks like Tim does have a couple guys on bye this week, so it does hurt him, but I do really like Tim's running backs this week with Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry. They have great matchups. Jared Goff has a great matchup. So it's going to be way closer. I'm going to give the slight edge to Josh this week just because his team is full strength. He doesn't have any buys really this week. Knock on wood, he doesn't really have any injuries. So we'll see what happens this week, but I'm going to give the slight edge to Josh. Denny versus Learning Computer. Huge game this week. Denny needs this victory. And Matt has been playing good. Now, unfortunately for Denny, he does have Justin Herbert on bye this week. And Matt's team looks to be fully healthy, so I think this game's going to be really, really close. I like Denny's team better. Just Jahmyr Gibbs, JSN, Trey McBride, three studs that are all better than anyone on Matt's team. But Lamar Jackson going against the Jets. We'll see what Matt's team can do right now. I think this game is going to be really, really close. I'm going to give the slight edge to Denny. I think his ceiling players are going to help him win this week barely. Next, we got Justin versus Pat. Justin has to keep winning. His point total's pretty good though, but not where it needs to be. So not only does he need wins, but he has to put up the points as well. Luckily, he's playing Pat this week. Pat's team is on a downward spiral. He has a couple guys on bye this week, but the big thing is he has no Ja'Marr Chase this week, and without Ja'Marr Chase, Pat's in a rough spot. I mean, no Ja'Marr Chase. Calvin Ridley's hurt. He has a quarterback on bye, so I'm going to give the edge to Justin. I think he's just a healthier and a better team right now. So Justin takes down Pat. Next, we're going to look at Cass versus Ryan. This is usually an epic game every single year in fantasy. Two of our perennial playoff contenders every single year. Unfortunately, this is not going to be an epic matchup. I think Ryan gets back in the win column, destroys Cass. Cass has Waddle on bye. Cass has Sutton on bye. Not to mention Cass's team just kind of sucks ass. The quarterback disparity between these two might be 40 points, which is crazy to think. So I think Ryan takes the easy victory over Cass this week. Last but not least, we're going to look at Jace versus Turdman Cal. Jace's team, we'll see. His projections are abnormally low against Cal. He has a couple guys on bye. But Cal's team is just really bad. It's really, really bad. So I'm going to give the edge to Jace. I think Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen, they're going against Caleb Williams and Tyler Shuck. So I think that alone is going to give Jace the edge. So I think Jace wins this week. It may be closer than people think, but Cal's team's just not very good. So that's a preview of all of our other games, guys. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Love you guys. Hope families are doing great. I'll talk to you guys soon. Go Chiefs, go Bears.